I'm trying to figure out, for the life of me, what in the world Republicans are doing in this Susan Rice thing. But what's interesting to me, and I dealt with this in the previous panel, why are they so afraid to talk about Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, to talk about Petraeus? I mean, how can you somehow say that the person who went on television is the one who was responsible for making security decisions as related to the ambassador?
Well, but also, I mean, where they've gone is they're trying to make the argument that Susan willfully tried to mislead the American people with the talking points. And then you had some of the senators come out and say, well, you know, she has access to the unclassified information. She should have known better. But here's the point. Susan Rice did what any person on that day from the administration would have had to do, and that is there was information that was classified and there was information that was unclassified. Hold on, she represented
the CIA guy sitting there saying, "Say this."
Yes, but here,
all right,
hold on. But here's why this is important, though. We keep saying this, but this is why this is so vitally important, and we don't say it enough. The reason that they made that decision was so that the enemy didn't know that we knew that they were involved. That's why they made the decision to talk about extremists rather than naming the group specifically. That's part of what Petraeus actually told the members of Congress in those sessions. So essentially, Susan was doing what she should have been doing, which is not telling the enemy. She wasn't trying to mislead the American people. She was trying to not tell the enemy that we knew that they were involved because we needed that time for some of our own national security interests.
Yeah, she is protecting the country, and you know, if
which
you
is her job, by the way.
Exactly, it's her job, and would be her job if she were Secretary of the State. And one of the things you have to look at is, in 2008, we see it again at this point in time. The president comes in, and some Republican says, "You know what? I've decided I don't like who he's going to select." So 4 years ago, it was Eric Holder. This time around, it's Susan Rice. They're both African American. They're both people who could really be incredibly historical figures and have a deep impact on domestic and foreign policy. And there's absolutely no reason for it. Substantively, the only difference between Susan Rice and Hillary Clinton is that Hillary Clinton was a member of the Senate. That's it.
But to her credit, though, I mean, Secretary Clinton has come out a number of times and said, "I'm responsible for security. But
my point, though, is you would think that the questions being raised would be raised to the person who is over the department.
But they've decided to make it not about the security question. They're trying to make it about the president was trying to mislead the American people to downplay the role of al-Qaeda because that didn't fit with the narrative he wanted to be telling during the campaign.
Well, this is about politics, right? This is about a president who's come in with a much bigger victory than anyone thought he was going to come in with, and we can't let him get wins.
Well, Rashad, are you seeing, though, Obama supporters, people who went to the polls, are they actively engaged online and social media saying, hey, we voted, we put you back in, we're going to have her back to ensure that she gets appointed Secretary of State? Are you seeing that actually take place?
I think that we're starting to see movements in that direction. We're starting to see movements not only around Ambassador Rice, but around economic issues. We're starting to see a movement that we really didn't see back in 2008, where a lot of folks who did efforts to get the president elected went home and thought the work was done. We need to flex our muscles as an organized community this time around, because this is not just about what could happen with Ambassador Rice and the Secretary of State position, but about all of the other positions coming down the line. When the Supreme Court positions open up, when judgeships open up, we need to be organized as a community and not give the right the ability to dictate sort of what happens after an election, where the American people went to the polls and really made a statement about where they wanted to see the direction of this country.
And particularly someone of Dr. Rice's, accomplishments. This is a Rhodes Scholar.
This is call her incompetent.
Exactly.
And stuff like that. It's crazy.
And then to try to evoke, 1998, which, by the way...
Oh, my God. What does she know about that bombing? Seriously?
Well, but here's the thing. If we're going to open that door, then let's talk about how the Bush administration didn't pay attention to what happened in 1998, which was basically when we really got a picture of Osama bin Laden. 3,000 people dead. If we want to talk about failure, I think we should go there.
Now, so a couple of things. One, it goes back to what I said earlier about this messages. Look, you do not label someone who is a Rhodes Scholar with a doctoral degree.
In the Clinton administration, in the Department of State.
Yeah. So
I've done everything at the UN we've needed to get done.
So the issue is not her competence. That's not the issue. If what you want to say is, if you nominate her, you bring her forward, we will vote her down, then say that.
Right.
But and that's the process. So if you want to be able to do that. The second part of this is Republicans have essentially coalesced around John Kerry to be Secretary of State. That's what the Republicans have done. There's, a number of votes for him versus her. But it is the opening salvo in the confirmation debate. My concern with it is this language of incompetence, this language of, that's my concern with it.
I think,
vote her up or down. That's fine.
But she hasn't even been nominated.
But she hasn't been.
She hasn't been nominated. First of all, I'm out of time. She hasn't been nominated. We see what's going on here. I still believe, though, the president should say, you want to fight? I'm going to give you a fight. I'm nominating her as my Secretary of State, and no Secretary of State has ever been voted down. I think he should say, if you want to swing, let's swing. Because if he doesn't nominate her, that emboldens them to say, see, we took her out.
And by the way, if he takes on the fight, it actually helps him. I think the Republicans think that it's going to mean he's going to use up capital. I totally disagree. I think it is going to strengthen him, particularly with the left, who is ready for the fight.
That's my deal is, if you want to swing, let's swing. Aren, Chris, Michelle, Rashad, we appreciate it. Thanks a bunch.